Angelina Jolie, one of the most iconic and internationally recognized actresses of our time, has once again made headlines. But this time, it's not for a new film, a humanitarian mission, or a glamorous red carpet appearance. Instead, the news is about a major personal and professional decision that could mark the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Reports have confirmed that Jolie is preparing to leave Hollywood, the very place that has been the epicenter of her career for decades, and at the same time, she is putting one of her most treasured assets, her historic home, up for sale. The move is being described by those close to her as historic, not just because of the property's value or heritage, but because of what it symbolizes, the possibility of a life beyond the glitz and pressure of the entertainment capital of the world. To understand the weight of this moment, we have to first look at what Hollywood has meant for Angelina Jolie. Born into the Hollywood world as the daughter of Oscar-winning actor Jon Voight and actress Marceline Bertrand, she was no stranger to the industry's glamour or its challenges. Jolie's rise to fame was meteoric, marked by breakout performances in films like Girl Interrupted, which earned her an Academy Award, and action-packed blockbusters like Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Salt. She became known not just for her undeniable screen presence, but also for her unique blend of vulnerability and strength, a quality that made her relatable yet larger than life. Over the years, she evolved from a rising star to a Hollywood powerhouse, taking on roles as a director, producer, and humanitarian ambassador. But Hollywood is not an easy place to call home, at least not forever. The lifestyle is demanding, the media attention relentless, and the competition fierce. Even for someone of Jolie's stature, the constant scrutiny can take a toll. In recent years, she has been more vocal about her desire for a life that is less about the spotlight and more about her family, her humanitarian work, and her own creative projects that don't necessarily fit the mold of blockbuster cinema. Leaving Hollywood, therefore, isn't just a physical move. It's a symbolic one, a step away from the industry machine that has both built and tested her in countless ways. Now let's talk about the house that is at the center of this story. Angelina Jolie's home in Los Feliz, Los Angeles, is not just any property. It's a piece of Hollywood history. Built nearly a century ago, the estate has been linked to some of the entertainment industry's most legendary figures, including its former owner, the late Cecil B. DeMille, the pioneering filmmaker who shaped early Hollywood. Jolie purchased the property in 2017 for a reported $24.5 million, making it one of the most expensive transactions in the neighborhood's history at the time. The mansion is sprawling, with multiple bedrooms, lush gardens, breathtaking views, and an old-world charm that blends seamlessly with modern luxury. For Jolie, the house represented stability during a turbulent period in her life. She had just gone through her highly publicized separation from Brad Pitt, and this estate became a sanctuary for her and her children. Over the years, she was spotted enjoying quiet moments on the property, walking through the gardens and hosting intimate gatherings for friends and family. It was not just a home. It was a retreat from the noise of the outside world. So why sell now? Sources close to the actress suggest several reasons. First, there's the practical aspect. Her children are growing older, with some of them already pursuing their own paths in different parts of the world. Jolie herself has been spending more time overseas, working on projects in places like Cambodia, France, and Italy. She has repeatedly expressed her love for Europe, particularly for its slower pace, historical depth, and cultural richness. It's no secret that she owns property abroad, including a villa in the south of France, and moving closer to those locations could allow her to focus more on her global humanitarian efforts. Second, there's the emotional and philosophical side of things. Jolie has often spoken about not wanting to be tied down by material possessions. Selling this home, especially one so deeply tied to Hollywood history, could be her way of closing a chapter and embracing a more nomadic, purpose-driven lifestyle. Friends say she has been reflecting a lot on her life's direction, especially now that she is in her late 40s. She reportedly wants to focus more on her work with refugees, her environmental advocacy, and creating films that tell stories from parts of the world often ignored by mainstream cinema. The sale of the house itself is expected to make headlines for weeks, not just because of its famous owner, but because of its potential price tag. Real estate experts speculate it could fetch well over $30 million, given its historical significance, prime location, and pristine condition. This would not only be a personal milestone for Jolie, but also one of the biggest luxury property transactions in Los Angeles this year. Leaving Hollywood is no small decision. For decades, the city has been her professional base, the place where she filmed countless movies, attended premieres, and collaborated with some of the biggest names in the business. Yet, Jolie has never seemed fully absorbed by the celebrity culture that dominates Los Angeles. She's known for being intensely private, often avoiding the party circuit and preferring the company of her children or colleagues who share her humanitarian vision. Those who have worked with her say she has always been more interested in meaningful connections than in maintaining a constant public presence. The timing of this move is also interesting when viewed in the broader context of Hollywood itself. In recent years, there has been a noticeable shift among celebrities toward spending less time in Los Angeles. Rising property costs, increased paparazzi intrusion, and the ability to work remotely on film projects have all contributed to the trend. Stars like Johnny Depp, Julia Roberts, and even Brad Pitt have either relocated entirely or split their time between LA and other homes around the world. Jolie's decision can be seen as part of this larger movement, one that reflects a changing relationship between Hollywood's elite and the city that made them famous. There is also the question of what comes next for Angelina Jolie's career. While leaving Hollywood physically doesn't mean she will stop acting or directing, it does signal a potential shift in the types of projects she will choose. We might see her take on more international productions, collaborate with independent filmmakers, or focus on documentaries that align with her humanitarian mission. Her fans around the world know that she is not driven purely by box office numbers, but by stories that matter to her personally. Her children, too, are likely a major factor in her decision-making. Jolie has often said that her kids are her top priority, and she has raised them to be global citizens, comfortable in multiple cultures and countries. Moving away from Los Angeles could give them a more grounded, less media-saturated environment, while still allowing them access to education, travel, and creative opportunities. In interviews over the years, Jolie has hinted that she has never truly felt rooted in one place. She has described herself as a traveler at heart, someone who finds inspiration in new environments and different ways of life. Selling this home and leaving Hollywood could be her way of fully embracing that part of herself, stepping into a future where she is free to live and work wherever her passions take her. Of course, such a big move will spark speculation. Some will wonder if it is tied to lingering tensions with Brad Pitt. Others might think it signals a slowdown in her acting career. But those who know Jolie well say this is not about retreating from the world. It's about engaging with it on her own terms. She has the resources, the reputation, and the drive to make an impact far beyond the confines of the Hollywood system. As the sale of her Los Feliz estate progresses, it will be interesting to see where she sets her next roots, if she sets them at all. Whether it's in Paris, Rome, or somewhere completely unexpected, Angelina Jolie's next chapter will undoubtedly be closely followed by her millions of fans. But one thing is clear, this move is not just about real estate. It's about redefining what home means when you've lived a life in the global spotlight. For Angelina Jolie, leaving Hollywood might be less about turning her back on the industry and more about reclaiming control over her own narrative. After decades of being photographed, scrutinized, and speculated about, she now has the chance to live life on her own terms, with the freedom to choose how much, or how little, of herself she shares with the world. And in an age where fame often feels like a cage, that freedom might just be the most valuable possession of all.